we do it. I'm hoping we'll have one right after this. So, here we go. It's Nick's video about Craigslist. Here we go.
Yes, you read the title. No, I'm not kidding. I'm going to prove it to you. Today we're talking about the most important website ever created and one of the most ethically ran businesses on the face of the earth, Craigslist.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Usually this is part of the video where I have like a cool hook or a cool statistic that pulls you into the story and makes you want to know more, so you sit through my ad and then continue watching the video. I don't have that. It's just gonna be unhinged the entire time. So let's get the ad out of the way.
Delete me. What's this?
It's the new Mustang Arms Chesty AR-15. It's awesome.
Is it named after me?
No, but it should be.
What? Oh my God! Oh, what did Nick? Look where Nick looks at. Look where his eyes go. My man. My man. Yes, sir. You know where he's looking at.
No, but it should be.
But what's this?
This is the world's largest commercially sold zip tie that I got drunk and bought one night. What? All right, you guys know the deal. Delete me. Online subscription model. You give them money every month. They turn around and make sure that data brokers on the internet aren't selling your personal information. What does this actually do in practice? It gets rid of a bunch of robocalls and spam emails. And on top of that, your personal info isn't just floating around the internet for anybody.
What? Winks, you're going on the assumption that maybe she hasn't written some of these jokes. Okay, I would not be at all surprised if Hannah actually wrote some of these jokes herself.
To be able to buy for a couple of bucks. Ken, I know what you're thinking because I thought the same thing. I don't want to give delete me all my personal information either. I'm trying to get my personal information off the internet. Why would I give it to an internet company? You don't really have to give me your personal information. It's honestly kind of creepy.
Limited. Okay, I'm going to have to explain this. No, I don't want that zip tie because its usability is severely limited. The only thing it can be used for is to go around my body, pin my arms down my sides, and hold me that way. Regular zip ties are so much better. You can tie my hands behind my back. You can tie my hands in front of me. You can tie my ankles. You can hog tie me. You can tie me to the bed. You can, you can turn me, you can reverse hog tie me. There is just so much more you can do with the regular zip ties that giant fucking zip tie simply can't do. Okay? Regular zip ties for the win, and you have to be careful with zip ties because you have to make sure that they're nice and wide because the really thin zip ties are pretty bad because they can cut off your blood circulation. So you want the really wide, you want the nice wide zip ties, not the thin ones. Okay? The more you know. Proper bondage practices is you choose zip ties that have a nice wide base so they're not cutting into your skin like, like tiny frickin' nooses.
Gave them my name and my email address, and that was it. They came back to me a couple of days later and was like, is this your address or one of your previous addresses? It was. Is this your mom's full name? Uh-huh. Is that your dad's full name? Uh-huh. Are you related to this person? Did you go to this high school? They knew everything about me and knew exactly who I was just by me giving them my name and my email. All I had to do was answer.
Superlane, I don't care what it's made out of, as long as you tie me up, make me helpless, gag me, and tease me until I'm squirming and screaming too. I don't fucking care what it's made of. Okay?
A couple of yes or no questions as to whether or not that was in fact me, which it was, at which point they're like, cool, go ahead, pay for our subscription service. We'll go to all the data brokers where we found this information and force them to delete it. And as long as you keep being a paying member, they will continue to monitor all of these data brokers for your personal information. And if these data brokers do acquire it again, they will force them to delete it again. In my opinion, it's definitely worth it. I've been using them since before they were paying me to talk about them, and I'm going to keep using them after they quit paying me to talk about them. If you want to give it a try, I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. Kate, full disclosure, was not planning on making this video. I needed to buy a couch and I went on Craigslist to do it. Buh! I thought you were a big YouTuber and big YouTubers make a bunch of money. Why can't you just buy a new couch? Buh! Because I wanted to blow this one up with tannerite and buying a new couch didn't seem financially responsible, okay? Quit interrupting my story. Anyways, I need a couch. I go to Craigslist. Seems like a normal thing to do. I'm scrolling through Craigslist and then it dawns on me, this website has not changed in my entire life. I've been perusing Craigslist.
Jesus. Wow, it hasn't. It really hasn't. That is the same as it is looked for the last, 30 years. It is the same thing for the last 30 fucking years. Holy shit.
Craigslist since I was in middle school. Nothing about this website has changed whatsoever. And then the voice in the back of my head is like, how the fuck does Craigslist make money? I mean, think about it. I've never seen a single like targeted ad, like, you know, you get ads on my YouTube videos, you get ads on Facebook, Instagram. They don't have that. There's never been the pop-up being like, hey, give me your email and your personal information and save 10% off your next purchase. They're not selling my personal information. They've never made me pay to use the site. They've never asked me for anything. How are they making money? And at first I start thinking maybe it's like a public service type thing, you know, like Wikipedia, like maybe some people donate just to keep the website up and running, at which point I'm like, maybe I should donate to Craigslist. I've been using it enough. I probably do owe them a little bit of money to keep the site running, you know, pay it forward, if you will. So then I Google it. How much money does Craigslist make? They make anywhere between $300 million and $1 billion a year, and they only have 50 employees and an 80% profit margin, okay?
And look where they're headquartered. Holy shit, they're headquartered in fucking California, too. Holy shit!
That's like $16 million generated per employee of profit. At this point, I'm like, oh, they're fucking up to something sinister. I'm gonna figure out what it is. So I started looking into it, and boy, was I wrong, because it became very apparent to me very quickly that if Craig Newmark, like Craigslist, Craig, and the CEO, Jim Buckmaster, wanted to be evil tech overlord trillionaires, they absolutely could have been.
I mean, he's wearing the Steve Jobs sweater, for God's sake. Seriously, my guy, you are literally wearing the Steve Jobs sweater. Shave your head, and we basically have a young Steve Jobs here going on right now. What the fuck?
And this is why it's the most important website in the history of the world, all right? If you're a normal person doing normal people things on the internet, almost every website and every service you use online is a single idea that was ripped off from Craigslist and then over monetized and used to exploit you to make billions of dollars. And if Craigslist wanted to do it first, they absolutely could have. And the only reason they didn't is because they looked around and they're like, I mean, we're making hundreds of millions of dollars and we're not screwing over literally anybody. What if we just keep doing that? And that's what they did. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're just gonna take it from the top. 1995, Craig Newmark, the guy that founded Craigslist, is living in San Francisco. He's a super nerdy dude, like pocket protector, glasses with the tape, nerdy. He's computer savvy, not that great at making friends. So he made an email.
And that's the kind of guy that you want running a tech business. You want the fucking nerd who's socially awkward, who's really good with computers, knows them backwards and frontwards, and is not distracted by bullshit like social engagements. This is your fucking guy.
So he made an email list for his like local San Francisco area where he would just blast out an email for all kinds of different social events like art viewings or tech meetups or whatever. Any social event that you wanted to promote, you could send it to Craig and he would blast it out to all of his followers on this email list that would affectionately become known as Craig's List.
He said it! He said it!
And he pretty much just did this to help him and other people go out and meet and make friends. And he's just like doing this on his own free time. He's still working a full-time job, managing this massive email list. And by 1996, it becomes too much. So he makes Craigslist, as we know it today, the website where he basically allows people to just upload all the details of their current event. And everybody knows they can go to Craigslist.com and they can look up all the different social events themselves. So he's one of the first, if not the first website to allow users to create posts to promote their social events to get people to interact with each other, which arguably makes it the first social media ever.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
And it's the purest form of social media. Here's the plan. You come to my platform, you meet people, you leave my platform, you go meet the people in real life. Okay, then Facebook, Meta, X, Instagram, all these other social medias took that concept of like, oh, people are interacting, people are talking online, but then if they leave the platform, I can't make hundreds of billions of dollars and become an evil tech overlord. How can we make more money off of this? Oh, I know. We'll convince them to never ever leave the platform. We're gonna get them to come on our platform and just spend hours a day staring at a screen, looking at what other people are fucking doing and have no desire to actually go out and do shit themselves. That way we can sell hyper-targeted ads and make hundreds of billions of dollars.
Straight down the middle. No hook, no spin, no fuss. Anything more, and this becomes figure skating.
Okay, I wasn't exaggerating when I said it earlier. Every website that you use on the internet is an idea that was ripped off from Craigslist and then used to exploit you to make a ton of money. So 1996, Craigslist is up. It's pretty much being used to promote social events. And then people start uploading other things on there like job openings or resumes. And they're like helping people find employment. And Craig is like, oh, Well, that seems like a good thing, but also he's getting so much traffic that he can't afford to keep this website running much longer because he has to operate all these servers because he's getting all these hits on his website. So he has to figure out a way to make at least a little bit of money. So what he does is whenever you want to post a job opening, he's going to charge you anywhere from $5 to $75 to post your job listing on his website. If you're a multi-million-dollar company looking for, a hedge fund investor or a doctor, he's going to charge you $75. If you're a small home-owned business, if you're like the local hardware store, he's going to charge you $5 to help you find a new cashier. It's like the most straightforward, honest way to go about business on the internet imaginable. And then you get companies like Indeed and Glassdoor that took that idea and made it way fucking worse.
Yep.
Craig's plan, give me $5, I'll post your job listing. If people are interested, they'll get a hold of you. You can interview them. If you hire them, great. Companies like Indeed and Glassdoor, okay, we're going to take Craigslist's idea. We're going to charge way more than $5 to post a job listing. It's actually going to be bidding. So whichever job just is willing to pay the most.
Posting a job on Indeed is generally free for basic or organic listings to increase visibility and track where candidates. Employers can sponsor a job, which operates on a flexible pay-per-click model starting at roughly $5 a day or $150 per month. Cost vary based upon job location and desired exposure. And cost per click, too. Wow.
They're going to be listed at the top. Or we'll have it so the employer has to pay per click. But we're also just going to amass and collect millions and millions of resumes and credentials from potential employees, and then we're going to use that data and sell it to massive employers. That way, if we get data that shows like, I don't know, people with master's degrees are willing to work for a job that only pays $19 an hour, we're going to be able to turn around and sell that information to these massive employers. That way, they know how little they can pay people, and we're actually going to be able to make a ton of money by selling this information to that employer, and then that massive employer is going to be able to underpay a ton of people, driving down wages across the entire country.
Yep.
And the best part is like half the job listings don't even actually exist, or they're ghost listings that have already been filled internally, but we're not going to tell anybody that, so they still give us all our personal information, so we can turn around and exploit people that are looking for work by selling their personal data.
Yeah. That's a thing, and it's fucking disgusting. After I moved, when I first started looking, I was like going around to places and I was like applying to places like online through a website like Indeed. And one of the places was, I'm not going to actually say the name just so I don't accidentally like do something stupid to like potentially dox myself. But it was like, it was a major, it was like a nationwide, actually international, because Canada and the US, but it was a major brand. Major company, essentially a retail company. And I applied there in a specialized position. I wanted to try and get this position. And I applied there through Indeed. Didn't hear back from them for like a couple weeks. Didn't hear a fucking thing. And I went to the local, store, which is where I applied to. And I had to go pick up a few things from the store. And I asked the person, I said, hey, listen, I applied on Indeed for the store here. What are the chances, did you receive my application? Did you receive my resume? Am I going to get a call back? Is there like is there a manager I can talk to about having done the application? And the person at the register told me, oh, they're not actually hiring. I went, what? They're like, no, they just like collect resumes and like stick them in like a pile in the database. So when they do eventually maybe look at hiring, then they have like a whole collection of resumes that they can sort through. And I have no doubt that at the same time, Indeed was collecting personal data to basically farm out to sell to employers. Like, it's like ghost listings. I've seen so many news articles that talk about ghost listings where people will this is why we hear about people that are sending out like hundreds of resumes per month, because the majority of the listings that they see through these job seeking websites are all fucking ghost. They're all ghost applications. Or they're for the purpose of like, well, we have to make a show of collecting applications from outside of the company, when in reality we're planning on promoting or hiring from within. But because of legislation, we have to actually just at least make a show that we're taking in applications, because if anybody complains like, oh no, look, see, we actually took in applications, but this person just fit best for the job. So we hired from within, and fuck all the people that submitted resumes. Like, this has been a big fucking thing for years, and it's why, you hear about people that are literally sending out hundreds of fucking resumes and hearing nothing back because the vast majority of the resumes that they're sending out are for ghost jobs that don't actually exist. It's fucking disgusting. It shouldn't be allowed. It should not, these companies should not be allowed to be able to do ghost postings like this just for the purpose of collecting resumes and sticking them in a file if maybe we'll look at them later. That should not be allowed. Hands fucking down.
Yeah, I'm telling you, whatever you do on the internet, Craigslist did it first.
Wait a minute, why did you create that guy?
I didn't.
Anyways, the website just keeps growing. Eventually, he's got to start hiring people to help him. He ends up having 9 employees working out of his apartment to run this website. And it just keeps growing.
Wow.
People start posting more shit. Pretty soon, people are posting rental houses that are available or houses that they're trying to sell. Again, same super straightforward business model. Give me $5, we'll throw your house up on the internet, we'll help you sell it. Okay, literally like the first website on the internet that allowed a home seller to connect to a home buyer by looking at pictures on the internet of the house, and then they talk and meet in the middle. They go look at the house, they buy the fucking house, and then they don't have to give the real estate agent 6% of the value of their property. Wow, what a great idea. And then Zillow and Redfin and Realtor.com come along and they're like, hey, let's do the same exact thing. We'll make the website a little bit prettier and people can go on the internet and look, and then we're not gonna connect them with the buyer. No. We're gonna harvest their information and then turn around and sell that information to the real estate agent, and we're gonna sell it to the real estate agent for anywhere between like $500 and $1,000 per lead. And then that's gonna get baked into the real estate agent cost, which is already 6%, but now it's gonna be even more because they have to pay this extra fee. And we're gonna raise the prices of houses all across the entire fucking country.
This is the worst.
Which is something that Craigslist totally could have done if they wanted to, but they were fine just making $5. Okay, do you understand? Craig literally gave you a way to circumvent having to pay real estate agents 6% of the value of your entire fucking house, and nobody likes using it because the user interface isn't pretty enough. It's insane.
Yeah. He's not wrong. Because we have developed as a society that plain and ugly means bad. People look at this and go, what is this interface? This is like from 30 years ago. So that must mean that the website and its functionality is bad. That is probably a shit website. We have basically been trained as a society that if something looks pretty or looks sleek and high tech and modern, that it's good. And that we don't actually look at the guts of the thing. And this is not only for websites. This is for items too. Think about it. You have 2 items. One, it looks ugly as sin, and one looks sleek as fuck. Which one are you gonna pick? They do the same fucking thing. They supposedly do the same fucking thing, but one looks ugly as sin, and one looks pretty and sleek. Which one, by default, don't think about it, are you going to pick? Which one of those are you going to pick? You gonna pick the freaking sleek, pretty and sleek, or ugly as fuck? You're gonna pick the pretty and sleek. Like, flat the fuck out. Just on visuals alone, you as the average person are going to pick what looks more attractive. That's just how we are conditioned. We are conditioned to pick the thing that looks nicer. We are. That's it. It's not. I'm not criticizing anyone for it. That's just kind of how we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned to be drawn to pretty things versus ugly trash. Because we have been conditioned that pretty means better. And here's the funny thing. You get someone that's actually in the industry that uses said item, they will pick the ugliest sin one because it's a fucking workhorse and will do the job better than the pretty thing, because chances are all of the research and development that has gone into the pretty thing went into the looks versus the functionality. The same thing applies here. You see the other websites that look sleek and pretty, but the backbone of it maybe leaves a lot to be desired, whereas Craigslist looks ugly as sin, but the backbone behind it is rock fucking solid, and that's why it has lasted for 30 fucking years. It's the same exact principle. That's what Nick is talking about. is it's essentially talking about societal conditioning. We have been conditioned as a society to think pretty and sleek is better than ugly and not look beneath any surface level anything. It's not that's not me criticizing any individual. I'm a victim of that too. I will freely admit I've done the same thing. If I'm looking at two different things that have the same purpose, my eye is naturally drawn to the prettier thing, or the sleeker thing, or the more high-tech looking thing. I do it too. But the reality is, it's not, more often than not, the thing that's ugly works better. Fuck, look at cars. Look at cars. Say you've got a freaking okay, you've got a Ferrari and a Corolla side by side. Let's just look at cars. Ferrari and Corolla. Which one are you looking at for harder? Like, if you were presented with both, which would you go for? Ferrari or Corolla? 9 times out of 10, people would say, I'd go for the Ferrari because it looks sleek as fuck. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm going to go with the Ferrari. Yeah, well, guess what? The Ferrari doesn't run half as good as the Corolla does. Yeah, it's a supercar, so it can go really fast, but you know how often they fucking break down? Do you know how expensive they are to repair just for fixing, like, the brakes or the air conditioning? But the Corolla is a fucking workhorse of a sedan. You can beat the shit out of it, and it will run for 10, 20 fucking years, where you'll be lucky if you get 2 out of a Ferrari. Pretty, but works like shit, versus ugly, colloquially speaking. Corolla's not an ugly car, but colloquially speaking in comparison, the Corolla looks ugly by comparison, but it lasts fucking forever. That's basically what I'm talking about here.
Which, to be fair, I kind of understand. I mean, look at Craigslist. If it were any other website on the planet besides Craigslist, you'd take one look at this and be like, that's a fucking scam. I mean, if we're being honest, Craigslist looks like it was made by a guy they hired off of Craigslist. You want to know why? Because that's exactly what happened. 1999, Jim's looking for a new employee, starts pulling up resumes on Craigslist, finds Jim Buckmaster, hires him. Dude's an absolute killer, comes in, starts expanding Craigslist into other big cities all across the United States, starts adding all kinds of categories. He adds all the forums where you can have discussion, expanding their part of their social media. He starts adding all the different for sale sections where you can sell your used cars and everything else. He starts expanding absolutely everything. He even gives it its search engine. Yes, Craigslist had a search engine before Google even fucking existed. He basically came in and created the Craigslist that we have today, quickly became the CEO, and he gave us the glorious for sale section on Craigslist where people can go and sell all their shit or give away their shit for free. And guess what they're going to charge for it? Absolutely nothing. It's free. They were making enough money off of the real estate listings and the housing listings. I think they charge a certain fee if you're an actual car dealer selling your car, but if you're just a private person trying to sell your car, it's free. Everything else is free. You want to sell anything else on the internet like that, you're going to be paying a subscription fee and they're going to charge you a percentage. You want to sell your stuff on Shopify? Congratulations. You're paying me X amount of dollars a month no matter what, and I'm taking like a 2 to 3% flat rate of everything you sell. Same thing with Etsy. Same thing with eBay, same thing with Amazon. You're giving them a percentage cut of everything you sell. Craigslist, free. Buh! Facebook Marketplace is free too, and it does the same thing. Buh! Is it?
Yeah, and they're scraping your data every fucking day. You are the product on Facebook. Craigslist is not harvesting your data. Facebook is. Facebook's harvesting your data, selling it to advertisers so they can hit you with targeted ads. So yes, you are the product on Facebook. They're not charging you monetarily, but they're basically taking something else from you as payment. They're still taking payment from you in some form.
Free, or does it come at the cost of having to give Mark Zuckerberg all your personal information so he can turn around and sell it? And now he knows that you drive a 1997 clapped out Toyota Camry and he's going to hyper target you with ads 24/7. Not to mention, you can go to Craigslist anonymously. There's no tracking. You don't have an account. There's no profile. You can just literally get the dude's email or phone number and call him and be like, hey, are you selling that Toyota Camry? I'd like to come see it. Great. You go there, you give him cash, you take the Camry, you fuck off, and you have a great day. I don't need to know that guy's name. He doesn't need to know my name. I give him money. I buy the car. I leave. That's the end of the story. Or I could do it on Facebook Marketplace, and then he gets curious and he decides to click on my profile. And now he knows what I look like. He knows what my wife and kids look like. He knows my last name. He knows where I work. He knows all kinds of personal information about me. And just, no thank you. It's completely unnecessary. Craig did it first. He did it for free, and he did it better. Speaking of clapped out Toyotas, Jim Bucknell, when he was adding all these extra features and forums and discussion things on Craigslist, decided that he had a good idea. He was going to take the best, funniest posts in Craigslist history from all across the world, and he was going to archive them in the best of Craigslist section. And the funniest fucking ad of all time is in there for a Toyota Corolla. The listing name is 1999 Toyota Corolla. Fine as fuck. You want a car that gets the job done? You want a car that's hassle-free? You want a car that literally no one will ever compliment you on? Well, look no further. The 1999 Toyota Corolla. Let's talk about the features. Bluetooth.
Wow.
Nope. Sunroof. Nope. Fancy wheels. Nope. Rear view camera. But it's got a transparent rear window and you've got a fucking neck that can turn. Let me tell you a story. One day my Corolla started making a strange noise. I didn't give a shit and ignored it. It went the fuck away. The end. You can take the engine.
This man is a fucking Chad. This man is an absolute fucking Chad right now. Oh, I fucking love
out of
this.
this car, drop it off the Golden Gate Bridge, fish it out of the water 1,000 years later, put it in the trunk of the car, fill the gas tank up with Nutella, turn the key, and this puppy would fucking start right up. This car will outlive you. It will outlive your children. Things this car is old enough to do. Vote. Yes. Consent to sex. Yes. Rent a car. It is a car. This car's got history. It's seen some shit. People have done straight things in this car. People have done gay things in this car. It's not going to judge you like some fucking Volkswagen would.
This is so fucking unhinged. I love it. This is the most gloriously unhinged fucking ad I have ever seen. And I've seen some fucking funny reviews for Amazon. This is amazing. Absolutely fucking amazing.
Interesting facts about this car. The car's exterior color is gray, but the interior is also gray. The owner's manual oil is listed as optional. When this car was unveiled at the 1998 Detroit Auto Show, it caused all 2,000 attendees to spontaneously yawn. The resulting abrupt change of air pressure inside the building caused a partial collapse of the roof. 4 people died. The event was chronicled in the documentary Bored to Death, the story of the 1999 Toyota Corolla. You want to know more about this car? Great. I had my car fill out a Facebook survey. Favorite food? Spaghetti. Favorite TV show? Alf. Favorite band? A tie between Bush and the Gin Blossoms.
Oh my god, I fucking love this. This is so fucking amazing. Both bands, by the way, fucking based. Machine Head and by the way, best song, Machine Head and Hey Jealousy. 2 best songs out of the 2 of them right there. Bush, Machine Head, although they do have a couple of other close secondaries, but favorite of all time I think is going to be okay. Glycerine is another good one by Bush. My favorite ones from them is Machine Head. Second favorite, I think, is going to be Glycerine. Gin Blossoms, I literally only know really one song from the Gin Blossoms. That's Hey Jealousy. Fucking based.
This car is as practical as a Roth IRA. It's as middle of the road as your grandpa during his last silver alert. It's as utilitarian as a member of a church whose scripture is based entirely on water bills. I don't even know what the fuck that means.
What's that even
I ran
mean?
the Carfax on this car. I got a single sheet of paper back that said it's a Corolla. It's fine. Let's face facts. This car isn't going to win.
You know what, Grim Eric, you're right. Sound Out About You is a good song from the Gin Blossoms, but I'm sorry, Hey Jealousy, all the way. Hands down, the number 1 from that. Hey Jealousy.
In any beauty contest, but neither are you. Stop lying to yourself and stop lying to your wife. This isn't the car you want, it's the car you deserve. The fucking 1999 Toyota Corolla. I need to do a whole video of just the funniest Craigslist ads.
Hell yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting horribly sidetracked.
Hell
Anyways,
yes.
early 2000s, Craigslist is absolutely crushing it. People want them to IPO. They want them in the stock market. People want to invest, but Craig is like, nah, I'm good. It's fine. I'm just gonna keep owning it. This is working. I'm making a ton of money. I don't need to open it up to like investors because then I'm gonna be, you know, bound to make the investors more money. And then they're gonna want me to turn around and start charging everybody to post things on Craigslist. And it ruins the entire spirit of why I started this business. No, I make enough money. I don't need to be an evil tech billionaire. Just no.
Hell yeah. Fucking based.
He literally gets told by investment bankers and venture capital people that if he would just IPO and allow outside investors to come in, he could make $11 billion. And he's like, don't care. In his own words, and I quote, "It didn't bother me because my moral compass was set in Sunday school." Damn. At which point, all of the venture capitalists and all of these people came out.
But by the way, set in Sunday school back when schools, including Sundays, including Christian and Catholic Sunday schools, actually taught good morals. This is like, you see, this is what happens when you come from a time and a generation where you were actually taught good morals. I mean, it's not simply just like the Sunday school thing. For him, he achieved these morals through Sunday school. God bless him for it, literally, But like back there during that time period of when he was in school or Sunday school, as the case might be, that was back when teachers and parents actually taught their kids morals, proper marriage. God, I miss those days. God, we need to bring those days back. We need to bring back the early 2000s, at least as far as teaching kids their fucking morals. Yeah, bring that shit back. You wanna bring back some retro shit? Bring that retro shit back. Just teaching kids basic, fundamental moral foundations.
Out of the woodwork, and they're like, wow, Craig is a great guy. We're going to leave him alone forever. No, I'm just kidding. eBay tries to buy him out. He says no, and then eBay brute forces their way in. One of the first employees for Craigslist got paid in equity, and he owned like 25% of the company. And he was disgruntled because he obviously wanted to sell out and make billions of dollars, and Craig wasn't going to let him. So he turned around and sold his 25% share in Craigslist to eBay for $32 million. To be fair, there is several different accounts. That's one account. The other account is that both Jim and Craig and this disgruntled employee all banded together and sold eBay 28.4% of the company for $32 million, and that the reason that Craig allowed it was basically to offload this disgruntled
SOR90S instead.
80s, 90s, or very early 2000s. Any of the above.
$32 million, and that the reason that Craig allowed it was basically to offload this disgruntled guy that was already upset, and he saw there may be some strategic value with eBay, and allegedly eBay had made a bunch of promises that they weren't going to try to change Craigslist. Regardless of which one of those two scenarios it was, eBay comes in, they're now a board member sitting on the board because they have this huge share of Craigslist, and they immediately start trying to change Craigslist so they can make a ton of more money. And Craig, not having that shit. Absolutely not.
You gonna get away with it? Not up in here! Not up in here!
So because eBay couldn't make Craig utilize Craigslist to make more money and exploit people, they turned around, and because they were sitting on the board, they had access to all this private personal data, because Craigslist to this day is still a private company. We don't actually know how much money they make. These are all like projections and hearsay. So they're super private about all their information and their internal workings. So they gather up all this information and then turn around and start a website called Kijiji, which is a knockoff of Craigslist that now dominates Canada. Obviously, Craig's pretty pissed off.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong about Kijiji. That's how I found my apartment, was through Kijiji. I hate to say it. He's not wrong. This website does dominate in Canada.
Obviously, Craig's pretty pissed off about this, and he needs to get them off the board so they don't have access to this information. So he ends up diluting their shares below 25%. That way they no longer have their board seat and they can't have this information anymore. Problem solved. eBay turns around and sues him because of it. He turns around and sues eBay for giving away his personal information and creating competitors. And it turns into this enormous legal battle that ultimately resolves with Craig buying back all the equity from eBay. And that's it. The rest is history. Craigslist to this day is still the exact same thing that it was back in the early 2000s. It's identical. Craigslist still looks like it was designed by a guy they hired off of Craigslist because it was. There's no algorithms that select the best post and rank them higher. There's no way to pay money to get your post ranked higher. It's just, we're gonna post it chronologically, and however you posted it, that's the order it's going up on the website. We haven't hired psychologists and business majors to figure out and construct a way to keep you on the platform as long as possible, to try to force you to digest as many ads as possible for us to make more money. No, you go to Craigslist, you get the information you want, you leave Craigslist, you go meet a stranger, you buy a couch for $40, and you blow it the fuck up with Tannerite because this is America. Craigslist is literally the predecessor for social media, finding houses online, buying used cars online, online forums, literally everything you use the internet for. Craigslist came up with and pioneered that shit and offers almost all of it to you to this day for free.
Sounds good to me.
Craig could have literally been an evil tech trillionaire. He could have been the guy running Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin. He could have ran Indeed, Glassdoor, Facebook, Instagram, X. All that money all these companies have made, that could have been him, but he would have had to fuck you over to do it, and he wasn't willing to do it, and he just decided, you know what?
Thanks.
Hundreds of millions of dollars is enough. I'm gonna be a good person. And that is why Craigslist is the best and arguably the most important website of all time. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch, maybe drink some Echelon. All that's available over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out. I don't know how much Tannerite it takes to blow up a couch, but I know how much I'm gonna use.
Well, I can't wait to see that video.
All right, fine, we'll do one more. This is a close second. Coffee table of the gods. This coffee table is perfect for someone with a cocaine habit or looking to shoot an adult-rated film. As you can see from the photo, the majestic beauty of this coffee table rivals earthly treasures such as the color of the sky at sunset, the laughter of a small child, and infidelity. Qualities of this table: carpeted, mirrored, the motherfucker spins, doesn't have any weird splotches under black lights. Due to the assumed large demand for this table, all inquiries will be subjected to a quiz to determine their level of badassery. The price on the table is firm, $7.83, 4 cans of Chef Boyardee beef ravioli, and a framed photo of Betty White, located in Minneapolis.
It's amazing how much fun you can have if you've got the balls.
God. Oh, this is so fucking unhinged that I love it. And chat all across the world, all across the country, even now.
Did Nick just find one of Ember's items on Craigslist?
Chat all across the country, even now. You can hear the screams of keyboards as they are tortured by millions of people going on to Craigslist to search for their favorite thing, ad nauseum. Nick single-handedly just quintupled the amount of traffic that Craigslist gets annually, and I fucking love it.